Hello gamers, B2, we're going to do a little weekend update. Going to be doing a lot of the Discord stuff. Let me make this bigger so y'all can see it. Let me, boom, boom, boom. There we go. We're going to be looking at Illyriad, and we're going to be looking at Conflict of Nations for those generals. So hey, first of all, hit like, hit subscribe to follow the channel. Set the alert so you can get them on there. Here we go. So, first up is Epic RPG, and we are sitting at 125 time travels, ranked number 11 all time, and it's been pretty neat because this week I was able to actually move up 2 spots from 13 to 11. Argon left the game, so I was able to move past him, and then it looks like someone got banned, I guess, or a little temporary jail or whatever, but was able to move up to number 11. I can't catch you. I mean, like, it's just impossible. There's just no way that dude or chick just jams on here. So anyway, let's see what we have ready commands-wise. We have a chainsaw ready. So basically, you guys know how to play this game. It's pretty simple. You type the commands in, it does stuff. What I'm waiting for is cooldowns. So if you do RPG CD, it'll tell you all your cooldowns on here. So you're looking at 22 hours on your daily, 3 days on the weekly. But I got a loot box coming in 7 minutes. I got an adventure in 31. What I'm really looking for is down here. On the weekends, you get dungeons. But for being a Patreon, you get a dungeon every 8 hours. But you get a vote every 12 hours, and so I can usually end up getting 4 or 5 dungeons in on the weekends, which is fantastic. It's the one time that you end up with a lot more on there. So let's look at the guild. I do have a guild spot open. If you're interested, pop on the server. We're going to upgrade this and see what we got to 32. Pop on the server. The Discord channel is in the YouTube description, so do not ask me in the comments. I will ignore it or mock you mercilessly for not reading. So anyway, let's go look at the horse. I do have the tier 10, which is super handy because of the drop rates on here and the tier boost. Man, it's nice, and you get the 2 extra badge slots, which a lot of people don't realize that, but you get the extra swag. Alicious up here. Look at that, the 5 badges. What up, holla? Anyway, so RPG is jamming along. Let's deposit 6 bill, and we should be at 524. I don't really track money anymore on here. I'm more towards tracking overall progress on the top time travels, just because I just don't get the time to play like I used to, right? So I do to fall asleep, I'll lay in bed, play for like 10-15 minutes. I'll check it through the day probably like 100 times and run the commands that are important, right? But I don't really sit and farm anymore. I know that sounds crazy because in the first like 30 time travels, it took a tremendous amount of time to farm and just to get the supplies and everything. But now, if you look on here on the super time travel, so every time I end up starting right here now without having to farm a whole lot, right? So think about that. That's area 1 and area 2 done. You go right from 15 back around to 3, so it's going to shorten the amount of dungeons you have to do by 2, which is handy, right? Because that's 16 hours of cooldowns on a Patreon, where it's a whole day worth of cooldowns if you're not a donator, right? So pretty important stuff right there. Next game, we'll take a look at Idle Miner. I love this game. It is very simple. We're at Prestige 12. So pretty high up there. It doesn't take a ton to prestige the second time you get there. The commands are simple. I just use the semicolon on our server. You're gonna sell. It's gonna sell all your stuff, and then you upgrade your backpack. All the backpack upgrades. 45 upgrade pick all. It's going to go there. So it's not a huge, but here's what happens is you end up getting pets in this game as well. Each time you prestige, it goes back to no pets, and then you kind of level them off. There's a chance to get golden pets like the golden sheep, the golden ocelot on here. They all do different things, so I can do pets. Help and show you. So the first row of pets right here, the commons, increase your backpack size. So the bigger the pet is here, the bigger the backpack is. This is your mining speed. So the more levels on here, the faster you accumulate the blocks to sell. And then of course the sell price here, you guys can read through there. But the fun ones are down here at the bottom where you get a wither or a giant or an ender dragon. The giant's the best one in my opinion because you can earthquake every, for 5k blocks per level. So like EQ, and you can see it, boom, 50,000 blocks. Which is good at the higher levels of prestige. You're in different areas, it's worth a lot more money. And of course you can raise them, and I'll show you that. So then you can go back through again and raise your pack and your pick and be halfway through your prestige. Basically, you need 200 levels on both to jam it out. And so one's at 113, the other one's at 112, GG. Then you can also hunt and fish, and when you don't catch something, you get these shards. That's important for your pets because you can come back in and then do an upgrade. And let's do the sheep. See if we can get more levels on him. We did, and then upgrade Ocelot all. And the reason why is those are the gold ones up here, right? So they're gonna be double the level of output the stars are, and then they're max level. So if you look back now where the sheep was a 40, now he's a 50. Again, that's per level. You're gonna end up with a plus 10 backpack size. So if I went up 10 levels, that's actually 20 levels, and that would be a pretty big increase on the backpack. So the other cool thing to do is, let's see, then we can look at the prestige shop. So the prestige shop, every time you prestige, you get a coin. And then once you get the coins on here, you can buy down here. So you can decrease your hunt cooldown, which I don't really mess with a whole lot because I'm not physically sitting at my computer doing a bunch of farming. I work during the day, so like I can only farm when I pop on my phone here and there. Greed, this is a nice one to double your value when you sell. So if you're going to sell for 1 billion, it would be 2 billion, and you have a 15% chance. It helps out tremendously. So your merchant here, you can actually purchase without losing money or shards. So if you upgrade pets and then you actually proc that on a 4%, boom, you can upgrade again. So Idle Miner, pretty fun game. We do have a few active people in the Idle Miner, and it shows you like your recent, like how well you're doing as far as not prestige, rebirths. So rebirth starts you at, like to prestige you need 25 rebirths, and then you can prestige. So to get 3, 4, 5, or even 6 a day. 6 a day is crazy. That's a crazy amount of playing. So GG Alex on that. Last game is OWO. I love this game. So you can do your hunts and then you can do your battles. It's always lag-alicious. I don't know why lately. It's just been terrible. But you can come out here and you're gonna catch all these animals to add to your zoo, right? So these all go in. I got 41 XP for it. It was actually a bad hunt. These are the gems you can put on there to empower you, and I'll go over that. But this on the OWO is the battle, and I love that. So I'm probably at 34, 31-ish in that area. Probably, I would say, mid-level player, to be honest. I run into 40s and every now and then a 50s, and then once in a while you hit a 60 level, and that's crazy. I'll show you why. Is because when you OWO on the team, you're going to come in here and see, like, my fish is going to take 1,100,000 a level. My guy here, my healer, my Christmas special, and you get those through doing the hunts and the auto hunts. This one will level soon, which is nice to have extra heals on there. The W is going to go up, and a few extra hit points never hurt anybody. Tank is the Halloween special from last year, from 2022. Oh, no, that's 2 years ago, but two Halloweens anyway. So this one is my tank and has an Aegis on there. So OWO is a lot of fun. I would highly recommend you get in there. You can check out your profile as well. It'll return, I think this is how you turn on your profile, but let's hunt. Oh, and look at that. We got our last weapon crate. So cool. You can check out the battle as it goes through. It'll tell you down here that you won in 7 turns, gain 200 XP. So you see again how 1 million is a lot when you're only getting 200. The streak is 383. On the 10s of every one that you go through, especially on the 100s and 50s, you get a little bit of extra XP, and if the team is higher ranked than you when you beat it, you get even more XP. But the ranks are cool because if you look and you just look on the server, and I don't really have a very active OWO server on here, you're welcome to come in. We actually have a room for the OWO, and I got a couple of small videos up there. It's top streak, sorry. Everyone's probably like, me too, what are you doing? Yeah, so like Punky, actually this is low for him. I think his max streak would have been, I think it's like 4,000 or something crazy. Mine's only about 615, I think. I can actually tell you on here when you do the OWO team, it'll tell you at the bottom. Yeah, the highest streak is at 618, and I'm on a 383. So love this game. It's really kind of fun. And if you look at your OWO zoo, you'll pop it in here. And this is kind of like your ranking overall, right? So when you look at zoo points, I've got 7,500,000 roughly. The different levels. So these are the commons, uncommon, rare, epic, mythic, legendary, all the way down to special, fabled. Like what you're really looking to do are some of these bots on here. Are where you're going to pick up a ton. So I'm going to show you the auto hunt because that's what a lot of people just don't know about, and honestly it's pretty cool. So you can see I got all these all the way down, no legendary, no nothing, but your radar on here, if you look at your stats on this, if you type it the first time it'll return the hunt, but if you type it a second time it'll give you the stats. If it's not ready to return the hunt, it will give you it'll give you this menu, but you can now upgrade. So you sacrifice your pets for essence. It'll tell you got another 42,000. You add that to your 52, you should have 94,000 to upgrade. So what you're trying to do is upgrade these different components on this auto hunter to make it longer for you. So what I'm doing now is the lowest one on here. I could do gain. I don't really need a ton of essence, but the more essence you have, the more you can upgrade as well. So let's upgrade essence, your gain, and then we're going to use all of our essence to do this, right? So boom. So it leveled from 103 to 105. Instead of getting 2575 essence per hour, now you get 2625, which gives you more essence to turn around and hunt, right? So kind of cool that I can set this to go for 15 hours. So if I set it now, I'll pop around in the morning, I'll wake up, it'll be ready to hunt. I'd love to get that duration up to where it's a 24-hour duration. Then you set it once and forget it, right? I was doing it on the 8 hours, but I can tell you that every 8 hours, it's hard to get to your computer and actually stay on the every 8 hours, like the dungeons for Epic RPG, right? It just takes forever on there. So, but now you're going to set your hunt, and I want to just do it one more time. It's going to tell you at the bottom how much currency you need, or currency. You're going to set your auto hunt by doing the max there, and then it's going to return a code for you to type back in, and it's meant to keep you from auto-botting it by having to be at your keyboard typing stuff. So it's going to tell you that I'm going to return 2833 animals. I'm going to do 40,000 essence, which will then turn to upgrade, and my team is going to get 65k experience. So if I can come on here and add that 65k on, so you can see how long it's taking to get to levels. Like I probably level every 4 days now on some of these mons, some of these animals. So you can tell. Let's do another hunt, and then another one of those, and then I want to show you the last Discord game that I really open up with. And so it's the Taco Shack, and then you can see on here that we've got the franchise. I'm at the beach location with an ice cream stand. I got 4 million to spend, and then my income per hour is 33k. Looking to go to 40k because that's what my next level is to expand, I believe. All right, so the only thing that I can buy to upgrade right now is this 18 million on here, so you can tell it's going to be a little bit of time. But what happens on here is you do your work and your overtime, so and then tips also count, and you can basically make an income, and they're all timers, right? So if I was to do them again, you'd see the cooldowns on there. It's a 10-minute work cooldown, 5-minute tips, and 30 minutes on the overtime. But that's basically how you stack up money. And if you look at the stand shack one more time, it's going to pop up. The cool thing about the Taco Shack is that you have a franchise too. And so you can franchise, and I got 158 million here to franchise. And then if I do shop, is it? I can't remember. I think maybe it's upgrades. If you do the franchise upgrades, it tells you what you can spend the money on. So we bought a drive-through. You'll only get one of those. Customer service department gives you 10% more on the tip. Food services gives you 10% more on your work numbers. And then overtime management, you can read the rest of them on there. But pretty cool. And so we usually take the lowest one and level it up. But I think this time we are going to take overtime, because you get to do more of those, and overtime is the task on here, right? So I'm going to show you a couple of tasks. On the game, you can actually complete the different tasks that are on here, gambling, all that stuff. But if we claim it, it actually keeps you and gives you a streak progress. You can get lunch rushes and all kinds of cool stuff, right? So, and of course, more cash. So when you look at this, you can also donate to to the thing, and let's do the franchise stats. So you can see that we have 14 members. We only have about 4 or 5 active. We're probably going to start cutting people. But we've gotten 300 million in donations in, but look at all the shifts worked, collected, overtimes worked, but the franchise perks right now, we're at an income of, if you join, you get 3,800 income. You get 70% boost on work, tips, and 60 on overtime. And these are the top donators that have been playing forever with us. So, GG guys, thanks for the donations. And I think, let me see, I want to show you the expand command. We're at the max size. But anyway, you can really come in here, and Carlbot's going to get confused. He's going to think that I'm talking to him, but because it's also the exclamation command. But you can come in here and see the help using that, and then kind of see all the stuff and look at visible leaderboards and everything, right? So that's the last one on there. So next game up, Iliryad. I love this game. Love it. It's one of those games that is super long to play. Like, you won't even be good at this game for a year. It's just so incredibly detailed that most people just quit playing it. But what you can go in, these are my towns. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 towns. So if you go to the capital on here, and it will show you on the little red dot here, when you can go to another town. I have the settlers ready, but I need another 20,000 in population before I can send a settler out, right? So then that would make town 8. You can also take over towns. People leave the game all the time, and you siege, but it's a pretty friendly game. There's not a lot of thieving, not a lot of battling, and then every 3 months there's a tournament, and the tournament's pretty fun. It involves like taking nodes on the map, and so I'll show you the map a little bit. But so like the map here, you can see it down here if I click over. There's all these territories all the way across. Like, it is one of the biggest, most expansive games that I've seen. You can center it on your town by doing that. On the board, I take the terrain off, but if you put it back on, you can see the terrain over map. I just know where my cities are in here because you put them on food squares, and so the rest don't matter to me. It's the bonuses that are around there, and you pre-pick that city. So I can zoom out a little bit. Yeah. And then what we can do is walk to the map, so you can see like my next city I'm probably going to put somewhere down here, or maybe like someone further down over here. But you can see there's another city. Somebody has a city where you can see it's claimed sovereign. It's weird. There's not a city, but they claimed it. That's cool, though. A little city on an island. I dig it, man. But, you basically going to give 10 squares between you and the next person, because these yellow squares around it are where they claim sovereignty. And you can actually build things on these squares around here, which is kind of cool, right? So I'm currently doing that in a couple of towns, you can see, but it requires you to have an army, and the new towns don't have an army, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, if I go to town 2, my guild town 2, and I look at the map on here, you can see that I've still got a lot of buildings. Everywhere there's a log, you can build a building. But right now I'm upgrading my consulate. That's where you get your diplomats from. That's where you send out the missions so they can gather information, look at supplies, do trades, not from the diplomats anyway, but I can also research on here, which I need to. See, I have there's a 2. You can research 2 at a time. And I'm researching the diplomatic stuff because that's also what I'm building, right? So I just research them all that I need. It takes a long time to research. I mean, a long time. You can't pay to win that and speed that up, which I love. There's a ton of other buttons, but this isn't a how-to on Iliryad. It's just a weekend update on everything. So that's building. I go back to the menu, go to the next town, pop it open, and I can't remember what I was building here, question mark. So let me look at what was I building. I think I was building food. Is it the common ground? Let's build the paddock up and get that going. So I've got enough food. The reason why you do that is because the paddock and everything this one allows you to build horses, and I've got about 4,000 building, but see how it takes forever. That time gets shortened 154 days, but At a level 4, that's what it's going to be like until you get that to level 20. The time will take forever. And then over here at the common ground is where you build your livestock. That allows you to make saddles and skin them and do all kinds of stuff. And the paddock allows you to build horses and build a horse trainer. And that's more information that you need to know. But so down here, this one is still building. And I think I'm building... Oh, I do have enough. Nice. The other thing that I'm doing is coming back in and building my supplies up. It usually is about, this number usually needs to be at about 5,500 to $6,000 before it'll self-sustain the city and have extra. And what I mean by that is, like in town 1, you can see how they're red and maxed out. 894 is the max for each one. And I'm building on to my food supply because it's negative right now. So that's what I'm actually building. So I'm waiting for these 2 to finish. It'll probably go positive after 13, but I'm one of those weird OCD guys, so I'm going to actually go the full 20 level upgrade and just have it done. So you'll learn that about me. So let's go back down here to the stalling. The stall 3. Stall means stalwarts. I'm going to have 3 military bases that produce them because they'll be able to do the hunts and clear the animals, the wild stuff that's around them, and I'm going to show you that as well. So let's take the lowest amount that's up here, which is the metal and... or ores, or whatever you want to call it. Man, is that the lowest one that I got? It is. So I hate to do the low ones because it's only a 1-minute upgrade time, so if I don't catch it, you're kind of wasting a little bit of time. But that's all right too. And I can do a little bit more research. Let's keep doing sovereignty. And I can't research anything here. I don't have the right building to research any further yet, so... but that'll happen soon. What's cool on the map, though, is if you look around your towns, you can see these... let's actually go to my military town and center, and I'll show you. So you try to keep these clean because you don't want them interfering with... what is that guy? Oh, he's moving through. See how has the arrows? Someone's vans are moving through. But I've got this right here. Let's go harvest that with these guys from across here because I like to rebuild in the same town. So if you click on here and send army, I can actually send my attack squad out. And I'm not going to go through it. There's 4,000. It's way too many. But I just don't want to go through and deal with like the military menu right now to send a smaller group out. So, but then your squad right here, I'll be leaving to go attack up here and go through. So then what you can do is actually, let's go to our Capitol building and so up here. So I can actually send... a diplomat up here and to see what's on this square here. I can come back in. I can send my miners to harvest that. 60 is the max on there. I can send my herb guys, my herbalist, and I need to build some more of those over there. And then let's see if there's anything else I can run up and get. That's kind of dangerous up there, but let's go ahead and send the skinner up there. Grab those skins. The reason why you do that is there's so much to build inside of the game, right? So if I go into my big city and I go into, see, it has a wall, so I was research defense on there. If I go into the blacksmith and I research, I can do all kinds of weapons and different armors and all kinds of cool stuff, right? So, but you can get all the supplies, but this is what you need. You find these throughout the realm. Like the crystals that we're going to collect are here. So the minerals, I can go through, but if I need to find ice heart as well, I don't have that around, but I know I can find puma hearts, and I know I can find goldstone, or I know I can find a black bear heart. I actually have some of those, but then I would need the agris to go through. So it's hard to find all of these supplies, which is what I love because you can actually send trade units to faction trade hubs and buy things. Like, so if I look at the markets and the prices, I can come into here and say, oh, well, what do we got to buy? You know what I mean? If I go to, let's go to Bill, there's basically not a whole lot in here to sell, right? If I look at the wood, someone's selling them at 1, and somebody wants to buy it at 0.0001, right? So what people do is they'll put a sell price really high, and they'll send it in here, and that stores the wood at the faction hub. So if someone's attacking you or whatever, you can dump stuff. But anyway, pretty cool stuff at Illy Riad. Love that game. Next one up, Conflict of Nations. I dig it. And this weekend update, I know is one of my longer videos, but I thought you guys would enjoy it, and I'm going to segment it out. So this game's almost done. It's almost a GG for this. I've been producing these little bad jammies here because some nerd was nuking us. And I want to move this over to the Capitol. So I was able to produce some and actually move down here and help out here as well. So we are expanding. I'm trying to take this territory up here now. Just a random jet. Like he guy could definitely is AFK because should be shooting down my AWACS that's just hanging out over there. So my radar plane. But yeah, so advancing over through here, trying to knock out Brazil. The main battle was up into here through the Middle East and Europe, which it was a hard battle, man. There was a bunch of dudes up here fighting it out, man. It was a really good game. I thought we were going to lose in the beginning, but we definitely were able to prevail in the end. Just looking for where I need to move stuff. And what is that one? That's Japan. So Japan's friendly with us, but pretty much just coming down through here and taking the rest of this land. Japan got nuked, and I may go grab Tokyo at some point because I know there's nobody in there. But yeah, taking all these North Korean peninsula, the Philippines ran through here and grabbed a bunch of crap, and we're still at war with Russia, who used to be in our alliance but went AFK, and then Sweden still scooping through here. So I guess I could throw some planes up here and knock those guys out too. I just don't have anything available. I'm fighting down here in Indonesia, and I'm waiting for some towns to quit smoking. Hopefully tonight the morale will drop, but yeah, like this guy got yoked out, so he's I have to come down here and grab that guy, but he's taking all the land back. I'm gonna leave this dude up here. I don't know if I have. Oh, let me see. Can I reach him now? I think I can't. Oh, buddy, so sorry for you. Yep, Sweden's gonna take that. He's just waiting there. Why don't you just unboard, man? All right, so let's get on a patrol down here now. I want to stretch and see what's down in some of these other places. I know there's nothing up here now on the radar. But I got one there, and I'm taking these guys. I should come through here. I'm already down kind of close. Decisions. I only got one infantry dude. When is this guy going to land? 2345? So I could take this guy up, I hope. I hope it doesn't go to rogues, man. Please tell me no rogues. But we'll grab these extra territories. And then this will be finished. So this guy's attacking. Okay, yeah, so he's going to take that guy off, and then we'll land there later. All right, so that's about it. I can look on here on the coalition side. You can tell we're pretty far out in advance. The only people that are on the west side are in South America, and I think they're AFK as well. Pretty much once people know they lose the game, they lose interest in it. Instead of trying to build and defend and make the game a lot more fun, they just quit. So what'll happen to me if I get in a game that I know I'm going to lose. I'll set a bunch of defensive build type stuff like bunkers and like long range things that hit from long range so people can't get to me. I'm at least going to be a pain in the butt if I can't win. So anyway, I'm actually going to start a new game on the server today of this. So if you're looking, come and hang out on the server today, and we're going to take a look. So anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed the weekend update. See ya.